All right, so it's been a couple days since I had it home. Uh, in my enclosed trailer. It's a 22 foot by 8.5. I did get the extra 18-inch tongue because I want a little extra room because I'm probably gonna mount a mini split unit on there. Um, yeah, she's okay. The thing is though, when you buy them from the factory in Georgia, you will save a ton of money. So I think I saved somewhere around about 3,500 bucks. Just had to drive down there and come back. Um, Also, the thing is, when you purchase straight from the factory, there's no dealer to check over things, so you have to do it yourself, especially the lug nuts and then also the shackle bolts and your leaf spring bolts and all that. Make sure you check all those because they were loose, and also it was there was a couple of lug nuts on the wheels that was loose as well. Um, so let's go in and see what we got here. All right, so just like a normal cargo trailer. Yeah, cheap lighting, nothing special, anything like that. Like I said, I did get the 8.5 because I need, just to make sure I have some room. And of course, to haul my machines, I'm definitely going to have to install more of these where my wheels will be. I'll probably have to install one in the front and back of the wheels on the side by side. Then back here, install two more for the back wheels. And then also where my Can-Am Outlander, the four-wheeler comes in, I'll probably have to install some more to be able to strap that down properly. One of the things I'm also going to add, like I said, a mini split. So these panels, I'm going to have to take all these panels off because I want to insulate the walls, and then I'm going to insulate the ceiling because that is just bare straight to the top there, and then add a lot more lighting in here. Ooh, also, I forgot to mention, I did get a dovetail, so there is a slight slant in the flooring here. So if I drive a car up, the ramp does go down good and all that, but it's still slanted some so a lower car won't scrub. So there is a little bit of a slope here. So my next project is going to be on this, is remove all the interior walls, put in board insulation, and then also add board insulation here, and then go back with some paneling on the roof, on the ceiling, and then add probably some LED strip lights all the way down each side, and then also some exterior lighting because there's no exterior lighting on here. It was cheaper for me to do all that myself than get the factory to do it, so I can do it myself. I can do it. And I should have ordered a window in my door, but I didn't, so that will probably also come later because it's kind of, I'm going to be using this for my side-by-side and fold when I go to ATV parks and use this as a sleeper. So that's why I need the mini split unit to keep it cool and heated and everything else. And I would like a window in case somebody knocks on the door at night. I would like to be able to look out and see who it is before I open the door. So this is my project that I will be starting on very soon. It's definitely going to be a project. Then once I get all that installed, I'm going to be painting the walls and the ceiling white, and then my flooring probably like battleship gray. And then my molding, I'm probably going to go with like a 4 or 6 inch slanted molding here so I can run wires down for all the lighting I'll put in. And then also I'm going to be adding a generator, of course, for the mini split. So I'll probably add some 120 volt receptacles every so often. As of right now, my plans are probably put an air mattress in here to sleep at nights, or I might try to create some type of bedding deal, maybe over this, with some plywood and air mattress on top or something. I don't know. But when you do get the 22 foot by 8.5, you do get an extra 1.5 foot room here. So I will probably be adding a shelf for along in here to put things on. Another battery compartment for all my DC lighting and things like that. So yeah, so this is the first part of it, and I will be posting more soon on the journey of turning this into a ATV park sleeper / hauler. All right, an update on the trailer. Okay, so I got a lot of insulation. I got part of this mini split there. That's going to be for AC and heat. That is going to go on the front of the tongue. Yeah, tomorrow I got to start removing all this wood. Oh, there we go. And then start cutting the insulation, putting it inside behind the wood, and then put the wood back up, of course. And then start putting some on the roof. And once I get the walls done, close back up, I'll start taping up and putting insulation on the roof all the way down, and then try to figure out what type of paneling I want to put up there to cover all that up. I do have a bunch of lights in the house that I'm going to start putting on the corners all the way down each side. So yeah, it's going to be a fun weekend. Hopefully I can get it all knocked out, the painting and all that. What I want to do is go with white walls, the trim gray, Battleship gray, and the flooring Battleship gray. So yeah, it's going to be fun. I also have, the mini split, it's going to be here. I have a big panel that, like a cabinet, I'm going to put there. And then on the door of the cabinet is where I'm going to have my controls for all my lighting and all that good stuff. And then extra batteries in there for all my DC lighting. So yeah, it's going to be a fun project. So I'll keep you guys updated on how this is going to turn out. I went to Lowe's, picked up a bunch of stuff today, and I'm going to start working on it tomorrow. This one little light here, and then there's one in the back. I mean, it lights it up okay in here, but I'm going to brighten it up. I'm going to really brighten it up. Also, this afternoon, I did get to where I put a exterior light on this side and exterior light on that side. I tested it. It's actually pretty bright. I can show you guys now how it's going to light everything up. I do have an old battery that I got out of my side-by-side because I put a bigger battery in there because I have a stereo system in it. So this is like a spare battery that actually it's one of the spare batteries I'm going to put into that cabinet that I want to use for extra DC. So yeah, there we go. Look, it actually really, oh yeah, don't mind the boat. I got to winterize that here. Might get to it this weekend, but yeah, that's all I need. One there. I didn't wire, temporarily wire the other side, but I have one over here too. It's up there above the ladder where I put that up. So I was gonna put like 2 on each side, but I really don't need 2 on each side. That one out at Busco or somewhere like that, that one is definitely gonna be plenty of light. So yeah, and it's black. It kind of fits flush. It's hard to see because it's so bright, but anyway. I'll show it to you once I turn this out. No, I don't know, it might be a little dark out there. All right, yeah. And I went with just 1/4 inch insulation, board insulation type foam. That's all I need. There's not much room in between here and the exterior anyway. It's maybe 3/4, so that 1/4 will be fine once I tape it up. That'll do great. And the roof there, it'll be great. Just enough to where I can keep it temperature, cooling, heating, and all that during the summertime, during the winter time. Yeah, that's all I need. And for that exterior light, yeah, I figured that you wouldn't be able to see it. So anyway, I'll keep y'all updated. All right, a little bit of progress on the trailer yesterday and so far this morning. It's a little slow process until I kind of started willy-nilly and quick trying to make it perfect because this is just an enclosed trailer. It's not like I'm framing the house or insulating the house. So anyway, I do have this section here insulated, this section insulated here. Well, you see where I've been going and stopping. And then the roof, I got it insulated. And what I've done also is I noticed that my roof is a flat roof. So the water does sit on it in a little bit of spots. So what I've done is when I slid in this insulation board here, I cut a strip down the middle, kind of to where it would have like a crest. So maybe the water would run off some and not just sit there. Especially maybe when it snows or whatever. It kind of help in that situation too. So yeah, it's been tedious, but been going on, finding out little tricks here and there as I'm going of which is the best way to do it.
First I started out was making measurements and taking a magic marker and marking it and with straight line, and now I'm just taking the tape measure and getting the measurement sorta and just taking the tape measure with the razor blade and just slicing down and then rolling with it, because every little bit helps in an enclosed trailer. I mean, I've got a 12,000 BTU split unit that's going to go in here, so it's definitely going to keep it up to temperatures, hopefully anyway. So anyway, this is the progress so far. Once I get this side done, I'll start back on the front and work my way back this way, and I don't know when that would be, but hopefully, you know, I can get it done today. I kind of doubt it, but it all depends. It's definitely a little cooler in here today than it was yesterday when I was in here. I think this installation on the roof I did early this morning around 6:30, 7 o'clock kind of started helping out. If I do get everything insulated today, I still haven't figured out what type of paneling I want up there on the roof yet, on the ceiling. I'm going to start painting. I'm start from one end and just start painting white all the way down, and then the trim like a gray, and then the floor will be the last thing that I do, probably after I get the ceiling and everything done. So probably won't finish everything this weekend. Highly doubt it. I mean, that I do, but maybe next weekend. I know I got to work next Sunday, so maybe Saturday I'll have enough time to get it knocked out. So anyway, back at it. Alright, so I did do this part right here. Only thing left on the walls is this part and that part. And I think I didn't hit a stopping point today. I've done run out of energy again. So I think I'm going to start back up tomorrow morning and hit this and this, which shouldn't take but a couple hours at the most. And then maybe go to Lowe's and get some paint and start painting. But yeah, I've done, I'm burnt out again. I don't understand it. It's like I didn't hit a point to where I just don't have any energy. So I'm getting close, very close. It's getting there. It is getting there. Well, got some first coats on some of the trim, some of it double, but the floor I'm not too worried about, because I'm going to have coating on the floor that's going to run up right to it and try to get it up on the walls as well. But I'm getting a little low on paint, and I've got to go to town anyway to do some things, so I'm just going to pick up another quart of the black trim, come back and do some touch up and some more coating on some of it, and finish up all this and all that. So today's Friday. Not sure how much I'm going to be able to get done this weekend. I was hoping to get the floor done this weekend, but supposed to be some rain and storms coming in, and as you know, with that type of product, you got to have the doors open. You got to have, you know, basically no rain, because, you know, anyway, self-explanatory. So I'll see what I can do, because Sunday I have to work, but I think it's supposed to rain all weekend, so it doesn't matter if I'm off Saturday, Sunday, or whatever. But anyway, it's coming together nicely. Still haven't quite decided what I want to do with the ceiling yet. Maybe in a couple weeks I'll figure it out and figure out some edge molding to feel like I do a 45 all the way down to hide wiring and all that stuff, and kind of clean it up. So anyway, that's the progress so far. Y'all stay tuned. Alright, so it's Friday afternoon. Kind of cleaned out in here, vacuumed the floor a little bit. I did go over the trim, a couple coats. You can see, looks kind of good. The bottom, as you see, is kind of rough looking, because I'm going to run the epoxy up to that top of that little 3-inch lip there, trim. So that'll be covered up anyway. I just kind of ran it down into it. I am going to try to mix up some primer stuff and maybe different colors. I did read up on it that this wood is going to soak it up like crazy. And I only got one box of it, so I'm going to put down a little bit of like a paint primer, just kind of smear it out really thin over everything once I get everything taped up. And then maybe if I have enough time this afternoon, I may start, well, put the primer and everything down, and I doubt I have enough time to start on the coating, because I also got to do this too. So, and then it's going to rain the rest of the weekend, so I guess it'll have to be like another, maybe one day next week or something. When I get off early, I'll jump back on it. But it turned out okay. Yeah, turned out all right. Still thinking about the ceiling part. I got to get some of that, but looks pretty good. I got a very thin coat of primer. Yeah, it doesn't matter what color, gray or white, on the floor, so that epoxy won't soak in so much on the wood. So maybe it would last to the end and not run out halfway. But I don't think I'm gonna have enough time the rest of the day. So I know it's supposed to rain tomorrow and the rest of the weekend, but maybe I'll have a few hours. I don't know. I'll have to see. You know, the weather changes, so I'll have to see how it's gonna work. But yeah, the thin coat of primer is down and ready for the epoxy coating. Yeah, and like I said, I'm gonna run it all the way up to the top of that black trim there, and speckle it and all that good stuff. So that way, if I don't have any leaks to be running through the cracks, if I have a spill. All right. Okay, so I got off work about 1 o'clock today, heading home, and gonna try to coat my floor. It's supposed to start raining after midnight, so maybe I have enough time for it to cure. I don't know. We'll see. All right, so this is the stuff I'm using to coat my floor with. It's for a one-car garage. It's for 200 to 250 square foot. It covers up to, which, well, it's like 205, 210 by the time I add up everything, this and all that. So it's going to be pushing it. And also, I've seen videos online with the guys doing it, and they're such in a hurry because you only have like 30 to 45 minutes before all your stuff is getting hard and drying up and all that. So hoping I can get it done. I'm going to try to brush around the edges like I want, and try to brush around these, and then go to town with a roller quick as I can without making a big mess and without making a mess all over me. So yeah, this is going to be pretty interesting. Yeah, so it says here, walk-in ready, 8 to 10 hours, drive ready in 1 day. Coats needed, it says 1 coat, and it says apply with temperatures between 40 and 90, which right now it's about 80-ish, 75 to 80-ish. Kind of a little cloudiness. Don't supposed to rain to midnight, so what I'm going to do is keep the doors open until I get ready to go to sleep. Let's see. It says concrete, wood, and tile. Instructions for paper service preparation. So I kind of prepped the wood myself. I did a little bit of a thin coat of primer on it so it won't soak in so bad. But if I don't get it all done, I guess I have to buy another kit, which is like another 150 bucks, 160 bucks or something to finish it up. But anyway, fingers crossed. I'm about to go change my clothes, and I'm gonna jump into this. All right, so we got here, I got everything open. We got the A and the B. All right, it comes with a roller. Comes with a little bit of I guess traction, little particles, glass particles or whatever, to sprinkle into the mix so you catch some traction. Then it comes with the flakes, and I also bought another thing of flakes. So what I'm going to do is mix both of these into this little bucket here so I can take it and just sprinkle it, because I don't think that that's going to be enough. And then in the center areas, I'll sprinkle some of that so it'll be grippy, especially on this part right here where it's, you know, could be slippery. And then in the middle there, not on the sides as much, mainly where I'm going to need traction. So anyway, it says here, makes only 1 pouch at a time. So what I'm gonna do is mix this real good, then mix this real good, and then it says to combine the A and B part by placing the pouch on the ground, and from the A part roll towards the B. So basically, once I get both of these mixed up real good, I'll take this and roll it until it pops the seam here, and then it mixes both. Then I have to mix all that together. Then take scissors and cut the pouch open and start pouring it on the floor. Take a brush, get my corners and all that. So not much time here. Looks like this is what I've got. Pot life for the mixing, 45 minutes. Yeah, so I got to be quick. All right, so let me get all my little flake stuff and my bucket there. Get this thing, go ahead and cut open and get it sit somewhere so I can go ahead and grab a handful of that and sprinkle it as I'm going along. And I'm not going to be able to record anything as I'm doing this, so I'm getting ready to get started, and you get ready to see an end result or an unfinished result, one or the other. Here we go. Stay tuned. All right, so ran into a little issue. Got a little happy on the flakes at the beginning, and I'm getting really low. I'm thinking I'm gonna run out. I don't have much left. Also, I'm noticing that it's starting to soak up the epoxy, so it looks like I'm gonna have to buy another kit anyway. So I'm not gonna dump any more flakes out anymore at the moment, because I'm just going to try to finish up what I've got and then get another kit and kind of go over some of the spots again and add more flakes so later. But yeah, even though the wood is starting to soak up, and then also I'm noticing, I guess that black paint that I had on there, I was going to try to rub up on it, it does not like it. It basically just ran the epoxy right back off of it, if you see. So it looks like I'll go back over that with black paint all the way down to the corner once I get all this complete. So live and learn, live and learn. But yeah, I got a little bit left in the bag, so I'm just gonna try to finish it up what I got, and then come back with another coat with more flakes, and then start adding more flakes and stuff into it. So I won't be adding any more flakes right now, because I know that I've got to go back over some spots. I'm starting to see more now since I've even been talking. The wood's kind of soaked it all up, so it doesn't look all that great in some spots. And I did sprinkle in, you see the grit, little fine grit stuff in it. But I'm going to stop that too until I add my another coat. So live and learn, live and learn. Okay, just as I thought. Yep, I've used up every bit of it, and you can see the wood, even though I had primer on it, it still soaked it in pretty good. So I'm gonna have to have another whole kit anyway. So like I said, I stopped doing the sprinkling of the flakes and the traction little particles or whatever. So yeah, I just ordered another kit and maybe get to it next week or something. Where I started doesn't look bad. As you can see where the wood kind of been soaking up some of it. There. And then, like I said, the black paint just, it didn't like the black paint at all. So I'm going to still try to coat it back up there. And then whatever doesn't stick, I'll go back over it with black paint all the way down to the little crease there. Just paint right over the epoxy that did stick and the flakes and all that. So that's not a big deal. Other than that, I think it'll look okay. But even though the flakes really didn't settle into the epoxy very well in some spots, so I probably will need to go over it later on with a clear epoxy, just to kind of give it a little depth and to seal up any of those flakes that's just sitting on top like that. Like I said, the wood just soaked it up. I thought I put enough primer on it that would do okay, but as you can tell, it just soaked it right on in. So I should have just stopped doing the flakes once I noticed it in this area here. But anyway, I'll just go right over the flakes and everything, and then put more flakes down. This time I get a whole lot more packages too. But you can see the little the traction little grit stuff, it settled in pretty well. Yeah, it's kind of grippy, but as you see, there's sections that the wood just absorbed it. There was no way of really getting around it. So probably I'm gonna do, once all this dries, I'm gonna take my vacuum cleaner and come in and suck up all the flakes that's just loose before I go and add another coat and all that. But well, live and learn, and glad to show the failures so you guys won't fail as well. Yep.